Hello everybody, good evening, good morning, good day, whatever time of the day it is that you're listening to this. Welcome to the 665 show. My name is Keith, hello. His name is Mark, say hello Mark.
Yes, hello.
And his name is Richard, say hello Richard.
I'd just like to say, are we legally allowed that intro music?
We are for now, because we played 40 seconds worth of it, and 40 seconds worth of it is okay, so that's fine because we use it as a bed for the introduction. Say hello Richard.
Hello, Fox.
Wow, does that mean we can sort of use whatever we want from now on, as long as we only play a set amount of it?
There's certain copyright bits.
What if there's a song that's 39 seconds long? Are you allowed to use the whole song?
Well, no, because that will have a different sort of policy like copyright policy to it.
How do you know?
Because when I upload
Sort of
it,
expert.
it flags it right away when I upload it to YouTube and says, "Hold up, what you're using here is wrong because X, Y, Z. You need to use this and that." So we're
What
fine.
if we were to use John Cage's famous tune 4 minutes 33 seconds, which is just 4 minutes 33 seconds of silence?
Why would we do that?
Just to be contrary.
It would be contrary.
Yeah, the same way, Keith. You've been contrary by saying Z.
Instead
And I've
of
lost
Z.
a lot of respect for you this evening.
Did he just say Z?
He said X, Y, Z.
The problem is
What, Z as in what?
well,
As in Z.
as in Z.
Zebra? As in zebra?
Well, I grew up
Yeah.
watching Dragon Ball Z, which was never referred to as Dragon Ball Z. So
Right.
that's why I've partaken to that use of the colloquial term Z instead of Z. I apologise.
So, whenever you watch American soccer, you feel that you have to call it soccer.
I don't really watch American soccer.
That's because it doesn't exist. It's
Ah.
football in America.
Do you take the garbage out and put it on the sidewalk for the
Yeah. You
trash
can.
man?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't think I use any more. I probably do use quite a few American clips, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be
I am,
okay.
but I am.
American.
I am worried about it.
Okay, it's all right, guys.
No, I am worried about
Well,
it.
I will only promise one thing, that I will try and stop from now going forward in using.
I'm that worried about it that I told Oscar Pistorius about it, and he was physically sick in a bucket today.
Oscar Pistorius was not physically sick in a bucket because of me saying Z instead of Z.
Okay, well, all right. Admittedly, I didn't listen to the whole news report, but that's what I reckon it was.
It could have been, but it was more likely the fact that he's currently on trial for the suspected manslaughter or murder of his wife. Either way, both are worth throwing up into a bucket over.
But Keith, there's nothing flippant about that.
No, you're
You
right.
make light-hearted digs about that.
There
Be
are-
ashamed of yourself.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's not as bad as saying Z, but it's pretty damn close.
It's pretty damn close. What have you been up to, Mark?
I've been trying to find out who put the bomb in the bombsy bomb. Who put the thing in the dingalinga-dang-dong.
Any luck?
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't me, but I'll let you know.
All right, mate. You keep at that though. Don't let him stop you.
No, what?
Richard,
Bastard.
Richard, you. What have
What
you?
have I been doing?
What have
well,
you been up to since we last spoke upon the show?
Well, I don't know if you know that. Obviously, we've all become minor celebrities through this
Oh, of course.
podcast.
Very minor.
Well, you know that they came up to me, didn't they, the BBC?
Oh,
about, who do you think you are?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The program. Who do you think you are? Yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't just come up to you and go,
through all your past history.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've never really liked any regular religious templates in terms of religion, right? But going back in time, I looked into everything, and it sort of opened my eyes to the whole religious thing, really, because I've never really liked any regular religious templates, like I say, but I don't know if you're the same, lads, but I still yearn for a belief system as a crutch.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've done, and Mark will be aware of this, is I've joined the Terence Trent D'Arby Appreciation Society Mosque, for apartheid fatalities. But the problem is, I felt a bit odd because I don't know if you know about the Terence Trent D'Arby Appreciation Society Mosque for apartheid fatalities, but it's absolutely full of black South African ghosts that had died between Terence Trent D'Arby's first album, Terence Trent D'Arby's introducing the Hardline. It's between then and when F.W. de Klerk co-won a Nobel Peace Prize with Nelson Mandela. And they're Muslim, all these ghosts are. So it's a really specific group. Not anyone can join in. So I couldn't believe that, looking back, I was part of that. And it wasn't until I went on Who Do You Think You Are that I found out that I'm also a black South African ghost that hadn't died in between 1987 and 1992, which makes me not between 7 and 12 years old.
That must be a relief.
Is that specific enough for what I've been doing this week?
Pretty much. That's some license payers' money going towards good things, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, I just think, like, how many people knew? You know what I mean? Until they watch the programme, they're not going to know about the Terence Trent D'Arby Appreciation Society Mosque for Apartheid Fatalities. So at least it'll bring a bit of recognition to the society.
Well, yeah, and simply mentioning it on the show has also done that as well. So that's really good, mate. That's brilliant.
Yeah. I just feel sorry for all the South African ghosts that died outside of the time period between introducing the Hardline, according to Terence Trent D'Arby, and when F.W. de Klerk won a Nobel Peace Prize, because there's nothing for them. And I just wanted to highlight that for them, really.
Are you sure there isn't anything else for them? Like maybe something predating introducing the Hardline?
Well, Mark, you say sure, I'm not sure, and
No,
really,
you can't be in this life.
Yeah, well, this is it. I've really looked. They said, well, that's the end of your thing now, and we're not paying you. And I thought, well, I ain't looking.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Rich, if that's their attitude, bugger them.
So you're right.
Yeah, but this is it. They should be paying me more, shouldn't they?
Well, yeah.
For looking into these worthwhile things.
Yeah, but you've highlighted a cause there that not many people knew about, and done so eloquently well, if you don't mind me saying. So,
That's right.
well,
That's
yeah.
right, gentlemen.
Good job, mate. Good
What
job.
have you been up to, Keith?
A little bit different this time, guys. A little bit. I've had a bit of a. I suppose you could call it an enlightening. I suppose you should say. I don't know if you know, but my wife's into musical theatre and the opera. And I don't know.
Sounds naff.
Yeah, I got to be honest. That's what I thought. Definitely, 110%. I agree with you. And if you'd have asked me the question a week ago, I'd be like, no way.
But what was the cause of this cultural epiphany?
Well, she kind of dragged me off to one, and it was amazing. I've got to be
Really?
honest. I really.
Is that the sort of thing Mark? Well, actually, Mark's the most cultured one here.
Yeah.
Do you like anything about musicals, Mark?
The odd song here and there I quite like, but I can't watch a musical because it's just the idea of people walking along and suddenly springing into song and dancing and singing on cars, and everybody knows the dance moves and all the words. Fuck off.
Yeah.
No, I hate musicals.
I hate it.
Well, I mean, it was.
Just watching a musical makes me feel like I've got insects crawling in my veins.
Wow. Well, like that's the way I would have said it, but then I went to go see A Breathtaking Glance. And we went to Birmingham.
What?
A Breathtaking Glance. It's
a typical musical name.
Well,
God, sounds horrible. I'd rather eat my testicles. What was it about?
Well, it was about the occupation of France during World War II. And obviously, we kind of know of
what hasn't been said about the occupation of France in World War II that's going to be summed up through the medium of a musical.
Well, believe me when I say quite a lot. I have never. I mean, guys, I'm not even joking. I spent most of this week just coming down from the high I had from just watching it. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It touched me in no other way. I mean, I was literally there.
I can imagine it now. I can imagine General de Gaulle gazing across the channel, singing a song with a tear in his eye. Yeah, I can see it now.
Honestly, guys, I really can't bring. I cannot put into words how amazing, how touching it is.
Was it really that good?
No, honestly, Richard, it was one man's journey of. I grew. I actually felt like I had grown as a human after watching it. It was absolutely
What was so good about
brilliant.
it?
Well,
Was it the music? Was it the writing?
the writing was top notch. The music, I've been a fan of musicals. It didn't even feel like they were singing. It was more like just someone had just spoken to me. Me personally, I was like the only one who was watching it. It was absolutely tremendous. And obviously, you guys, you're not into that sort of thing. That's fine. But if you don't mind, I've actually got a small piece from it.
God. Oh, right, are you going to play it?
If I could, I mean, if you want to listen to it, it's honestly.
Oh my god! Okay, great.
Okay, let me just
You have to.
let me just play it, and then you tell me what you think. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Just,
Yeah, whatever.
okay. Just bear with me. Here we go. I'm going to chalk it up for you.
Hey Mark, why are you looking at me like that?
I'm looking at that monstrosity at the foot of your face.
You what?
Your head, you stupid massive chin git.
Well, Mark, that's a bit harsh. That poses the question. What beef do you have with my chin? What beef do you have with my chin?
Where does it end and where does it begin? I say, where does it end and where does it begin? It looks like an ass and his facial pollution, a celeb de cause for those who doubt evolution. Your chin looks like it belongs in a bra. With a swoop of the neck, you scoop pickles from jars.
A facial pollution, I deride your ablution. My face is a truth, chin absolution. Whether standing alone or in pack with collusion, I will smite with all might and cause wave of contusion.
Your chin is the cause of dispute and rancour. Be gone with this ill, you swollen-faced wanker. Smite with all might gives me not a fright, just a hilarious sight with a pronounced overbite.
I think you'll find the beautiful state of my uncovered mandible, even in balaclava, is immediately tangible.
But your chin is so fat and your face is so thin. My eyes are glaring, transfixed on that chin.
At first I thought you must be taking the piss.
As I stand around that chin obelisk.
Well, it's covered ostensibly with my grey beard, but even clean-shaved my chin shouldn't be feared. Protruding and proud with dimples and clefts, the strength of my jawline is something to attest.
Your chin is a sin on a demonic scale. It steals all the sunlight and makes your face fail.
Well, the fit, I admit, of a helmet is tight, and the chance of extraction from part railings are slight, but what my chin lacks with elan and panache is more than made up with how it offsets a tash. It shores up a tie, accentuates cravat. It looks wonderful underneath some lips, but there is one item to caveat: the handling process does take getting to grips.
Oh, it hangs from your face and it scrapes on the deck. Its original purpose was to keep your lip off your neck.
Well, in rugby, so strong, it recalls a hooker. The cleft in the centre aligns my cue during snooker.
No, man. Fucking hell, it's Piaf. Leg it, fucking leg it.
Well, what do you think of that then?
I'll take it all back.
That's fucking amazing.
I told you. I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't believe it.
I'm close to tears.
That's absolutely beautiful.
It was. I mean, obviously, we didn't even see it right on the stage, and that was pretty moving for me.
Can you imagine being there now?
I can't.
Hey.
Well, I can, but I can't because I think
Do you
I'll
know-
break down.
Do you know, halfway through, I just got a big yearning for pan au chocolat. It's just beautiful, man.
It's honestly that was
It's made me want to buy a French bulldog.
I immediately bought baguettes after watching it, and then walked around streets with baguettes. I don't know why, but I did, and I don't know why. And I've been.
It's just...
I just how do you A genius? A genius is not the words. That's a breathtaking glance, by the way, and that's currently on tour at the moment.
It's made me want to change my middle name to Rosbeef and hang my head in shame.
Just
Do you know, I always previously thought that I understood musical theatre. And, you know, as I think Oscar Wilde said something along the lines of the moment you think you understand a great work of art, it's dead for you. I don't think I'll ever understand what you've just played me, Keith. That's fucking beautiful.
It's made me question myself as an individual. I might. Do you know when the next Greenpeace boat's going out to the Japanese seas?
yeah, I do because I'm on it. That's why I'm on it. After
Well, I'm
listening
going to have
this.
to come out with you.
Then we should.
It's made me want to stop whaling.
Just
And I feel like I want to wail. The other whale, you know what I mean? I want to
wailing,
wail about stopping whaling.
wailing. Yeah.
I'm confused now. I don't know which whale's which.
Do you get whales off the coast of Wales as well?
Do you reckon there's whales off the coast of Wales that wail?
Do you think
Yeah.
people wail while in Wales? That's
yeah,
going to
I've
happen.
been on holidays in Wales, yeah.
I quite like
How
Wales.
wily is a whaling whale?
Not wily at all.
No. So whaling whales out on the coast of Wales aren't wily.
They are.
Not whaley.
They're not wily. But once again, gentlemen, as I say, that's a breathtaking glance.
That's beautiful.
And,
Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
you know, I hope it makes you think now. Next time you see some musical theatre or maybe some opera, that you realise that there is some genius out there, some absolute genius out there.
As a rugged man like myself, as you'll know, gentlemen,
You are rugged.
I don't know what's happened. I've never had this before, but I've actually got salty liquid coming out of my lacrimal glands
That's fine. That
on the inside of my eyes.
what
I
that
think
is.
what's happened there.
What is? It seems like an involuntary reaction to the music.
I think what's happened there, Rich, is that art has taken you to a higher level, hasn't it? I think that's what we're getting there. And your only result is to break down in floods of tears, mate.
Yeah.
Well, is that what it? Oh, tears! Is that? I've never had them to know. But
I ain't seen you act like this since you bought that Terence Trent Derby wishing well 12-inch.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
To be honest with you, that's made me just like every song. I get the lyrics to every song now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like closer to my family.
It's something else.
Is it still running, Keith? I think I need to watch this.
Well, the problem is it is running, but it sells out so quickly for obvious reasons.
Well, I mean, the quality of singing itself alone.
Alone. It's
the quality of singing is amazing.
yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Truly
the
amazing.
one of the. I mean, the antagonist. I would have to say that he's probably a bit too hammy and over the top for my liking. I preferred the other guy who's a lot more subtle.
What the monotone one?
Yeah,
No, I didn't like
it
them
was
on
an
there.
understated role. That's what it was.
I thought it was too monotone. In fact, I found myself almost falling asleep halfway through his parts.
Well, I
Whereas
could-
the
I
other
would
guy,
never
the
put-
guy who was clearly Shakespeare, an RSC actor, I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think he sounded a bit brash and over the top for my liking. I was trying
Brash?
hard. I think he'd been on
Brash?
Walsh.
I think it called for the brashness, and I think the monotone of the other character was just perfectly put together. It was brilliant. But there is a film coming out next year that's going to be based on it, and Ben Foster will be playing all the parts because
Really?
you can't have anyone but Ben Foster play that, can you?
Well, if you can get Ben Foster to play one part, you need to get him to play all parts, don't you?
Damn straight.
Ben Foster's the only man I'd be happy being in a one-man band and him being there twice.
He actually did that once. Took it on tour, up and down. Mark.
Keith.
Yeah, and we've done that because I feel like we need a bit of light-heartedness now, really, because now the weight of severity has hit us all with the power of music, the pure power of music. Lighten the mood, Mark. Come on, let's have a chat about something a bit more happier.
You want something happy?
Oh.
I'm the man to come to. You know me? Mark Happy Derbyshire.
That's what they call you.
That's what they call me.
Yeah.
So, Pistorius. Yeah? Oscar Pistorius. I don't know if you've been following the trial or not.
A little bit. I've seen him crying and then thrown up in a bucket, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the first day's headlines on Sky Sports News.
Mm.
And obviously, as a news organisation, they were rubbing their little fat hands together at the prospect of a sportsman making the headlines for the alleged murder.
Alleged. Very nice.
Alleged
Very nice.
murder.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, they have to report it in a certain style for the sports audience, the fucking knuckle-dragging, retarded audience, you know, one way that they'll comprehend, which means using sporting kind of talk while they're discussing it. And I kid you not, they actually said, and now in our in-depth look at the case, who are the key players? Well, the judge graduated at the age of 41 and has ruled in previous high-level cases involving the murder of anti-apartheid activists. He had a prosecution record of 10-1 in regular season and is sponsored by Puma.
Oh, 10-1. 10-1.
The defence lawyer successfully defended a police chief in pre-apartheid days against charges of racist violence, weighs in at a fighting weight of 14 stone, and is lethal to opposition in the witness box. The prosecution lawyer, known as the Terminator, is on £3,000 a day. £3,000 a day, and he's coming off a career-high season of guilty verdicts. A lot of talk in Africa about the rights and wrongs of paying lawyers so much money. Does it make them out of touch with the average sportsman who has to subsidise on very little in the way of wages? He's known as a fierce tackler of law abusers and has a funny anecdote involving Gaza and a drunken racist slur. Okay. Then there's the Olympic athlete who's looking to outrun the long arm of the law. Over to our legal specialist, Ron Atkinson. Well, day one went to the prosecution, but it's a long way from over. You know, the lad Pistorius, he's a fighter. You can see that in his career. I mean, he's got no fucking legs and he's still a runner. Fucking amazing. Not like the majority of the lazy... All right, Ron, leave it. Okay. Day 2 starts tomorrow when Sky News will bring you Oscar's attempts to recover his good name from the ashes of reality. I don't know if you followed it at all, but his defence basically seems to be, I woke up during the night and thought I hate burglars. Now I know all the scientific and ballistic evidence seems to suggest that I put my legs on and noticed that the deceased wasn't in bed next to me, and that witness's age screams before the gunshot. Okay, and I may have previous experience of acting like a fucking psycho in relationships, and I enjoy the company of guns now and again. But like I say, I thought, yeah, it was, a burglar. Yeah, a burglar. Yeah, I thought it was a burglar. And of course, what he should have said, yeah. The defence that he should have given was, well, you know that I'm known as the Blade Runner? Well, as well as earning that nickname due to my prosthetic legs, I am also a Blade Runner from a dystopian vision of Los Angeles in 2019.
Ah.
Yeah, 2019, 5 years.
Yep.
I know, they should have said
It's
it
happening.
in the future.
No, it's happening. It's happening. We've still got time.
But have you seen Space 1999? You know, so there you go. Anyway, I'm a Blade Runner, and Reva Steenkamp was a replicant, and it was my job to retire her. That's what he should have said. I've had more respect for the guy if that was his defence, and it'd have been more believable. Not that I'm saying he's guilty, but allegedly he did kill her.
It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Really, that he woke up in the middle of the night. But apparently, it's a high crime area. Not the fact that
It is now, because he's living there. The fucker.
Not the fact that his neighbourhood is covered in security guards, cameras, and fucking 12-foot high fences, but he still thought he was somehow getting broken into. And they were in the bathroom as well. The burglars broken in, decided to
heard
take
noise
the
in the
shit.
bathroom. And what, you know, if you wake up in the night and you hear a noise in the bathroom, he did what anyone would do. He got up and just walked over and started shooting, without noticing if his wife was there or not. Because you wouldn't, you know, you'd automatically think it's burglars. You wouldn't check. Oh, is she there? Ah, fuck it, she'll be there still. I won't even bother looking. I'll just go and start shooting. Yeah, like anyone would.
Just open fire on the door.
Just
yeah.
open fire. Obviously, fucking hell. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, cracking. That was very good. That was very good. Richard, any thoughts on the old Oscar Pistorius trial?
Well, what I find quite interesting is obviously he's got his detachable blades, right? And he says it couldn't have been me because what I did, right, was I shot, but I didn't have my legs on, so it couldn't have been me because of the angle, right? And I don't know where this has come from because hasn't he admitted that he shot through the door, right? So he's gone, yeah, I shot through the door, but you see that angle that they come through? Well, that couldn't have been me, even though I did shoot through the door, because I didn't have my blades on. That's like me saying, right, I shot through the door, right, and there is a step ladder right by the door, but I didn't shoot from the step ladder. I was crouching underneath something. So it couldn't have been me. What's all that about?
But doesn't the ballistic evidence suggest that it was fired from somebody high up?
Exactly. Then his argument is it couldn't be me because I didn't have my blades on.
But I shot through the door.
Yeah.
Clever bloke. I'm wondering if I can just somewhat change the topic a little bit here, lads.
No, this is it now, Keith. For the
Is
rest
this
of
it
the
now?
year.
Is this it
That's all
now?
I'm gonna speak
Just
of. Yeah,
pure
go on.
Pistorius trial. There's a bloke who sits in front of me at the football, and I've noticed him twice now, and I'm pretty sure he's someone that I know, and I think you both know him. Dave Clark, he used to work for us.
Oh
With
yeah,
us.
he's part of the Dave Clark 5.
He is one of the
In
five.
pieces, bits, yeah.
Anyway, twice I've seen him now, and I don't want to say anything to him in case it's not him, because I've got a bit of a look about me that just puts people off right away anyway. So when you look like me, you learn to not just approach people unless you're 100% definite that they know who you are. I've got
Yeah, that'll be the tattoo on your forehead.
and the serial killer like beard doesn't help.
What the only way he wouldn't like you, Keith, by
Yeah.
look, is if he works for the education
Well,
sector.
this is it. I do look like a bearded Michael Gove, don't I? Which is another problem.
You
But
look less Michael Gove now. You got your funky hair and your beard.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I am trying.
Funky swag, as I like to call it.
It is swag. It is swag. Anyway, this guy, and he's sitting there, and now I'm starting to get worried because it's been 2 games now, and 2 games I haven't said anything. And now, what if he's like looking at me and thinking, "Oh, that's Keith. Oh, we'll go out for a beer." And then he's thinking, "Well, he hasn't recognised me," so he's thinking I'm like, "No, I don't want to share my time with you, you fuck." And I don't even want people to know that I recognise you, so I'm going to fucking ignore you. But that's not the case, I swear to God, and that's all I'm saying in my head constantly, is that's not the case. And
Is this at the football, Keith?
this is just at the football, right?
Look,
God.
this is the way I'd approach it, right?
Right, go on.
Just as there's a bit of lull in the crowd, you shout, "Dave Clark!" and just see if he looks round. And if everyone looks round, you just have to keep doing it as a process of elimination. And then if just he looks round, you just put your hand over your mouth and go, "Dave Clark," like that. And then if he looks at you, well, you know it's him, don't you?
It's still a bit weird, isn't it? And I think my problem is, because he sits in front of me, the only thing that makes me think he's Dave Clark, really, is the back of his head. So, if I was to, "Dave Clark," and he turned round, he'd look straight at me, he'd know it was me, and I
Was
would...
he a Baggies fan?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
see,
well,
I
Dave
think
Clark
it's
wasn't, sorry.
I think it's a screaming indictment of the baggy season that you're giving so much time at the football match to worrying about this issue.
This is all I've got left now, alright? It's all I've got left. And I kept thinking, it's the back of his head, and then I thought, if I say it Dave Clark and he turns and looks at me, I will, without even fucking stopping myself from saying it, turn around and say something like, "I'm sorry, mate, I thought the back of your head was Dave Clark, and that's not the back of your head. I'm sorry." And let's be honest, if a bloke with a serial killer like Gove-looking, beardy, glasses bloke shouts your name at the football and then starts banging on about the back of your head, it's a little disconcerting, to say the least. So I'm just going to fucking leave it.
Why don't you make a paper aeroplane
He sits,
with "Are you Dave Clark" written on it and just send it down?
he literally sits right in front of me. There's not even a robe, he's right there. He's in the seat in front of me.
Why don't you make a Malaysian Airlines paper aeroplane
Oh,
and send it down and lose it somewhere, and then he'll have to go and find it. It'll take him a few days, a few home games. No?
How early did you get to the match, Keith?
about half an hour to 3/4 of an hour.
Why don't you put a post-it note on his seat going, "Are you Dave Clark?" And then if he just picks it up, looks a bit confused and tosses it, it's not him. Whereas if he looks round and all of a sudden he like gets really nervous and he runs out as if he's been collared by a counter-terrorist unit, and he's been found out that he was working for the Albanians. Well, then
Wow.
you know it's him.
Okay. I might do that. It brings the question as well, have either of you ever had this? I know I'm completely overthinking it, but it's one of those things that just starts off as a very small thing, and by the end of it I'm talking about the back of his head on a podcast. But have either of you ever seen someone that you've thought, oh, I know that guy, but it probably isn't that guy?
That happens to me quite often, to be honest with you. Like, say if you go uptown drinking
Mm.
and you're in a pub
Mm.
and you think, do I recognise him because I go drinking in this place? Or do I know him from talking to him in the previous time?
That's a hard one. It's a hard one. Mark, you ever...
Well, I think I probably experience it less because I'm not in a city or living in an area where I know that many people.
Ah, right.
I mean, the last time I went through to Hull, there was the incident where my friend was convinced somebody was John McVicker's cousin. which obviously happens all the time. But no, I can't say it happens.
Okay.
I mean, I've accused many people of being many things whilst I've been out, and I've probably been mistaken to do so, but that's a slightly different
That's a
issue.
slightly different matter. Anyway, we should probably get on with the question from one of our lovely, lovely listeners, shouldn't we? And this fortnight's question comes in from Chris Westwood. And the question is as follows. Do you think that Will Smith should be involved in the Scottish Independence Day? And will the mothership attack Holyrood?
Holyrood.
Holyrood? Let's call it Hollywood.
Hooray for Holyrood!
Holyrood. Yeah. So is Will Smith going to be involved in the Scottish Independence Day? Will the mothership attack? And if so, will Will Smith play a combative part? Is my sort of extension on that. I believe so.
What I would like,
Mhm.
more so than that,
Yeah.
is I would like Will Smith and Salmond to team up for Bad Boys 3.
Oh God, that'd be funny.
Smith and Salmond are back. SAS. He gets all the ladies, while the other one is Will Smith. Be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I would pay to watch that. I genuinely would.
But, okay, but in the...
You can keep your Kruger hands, but whatever you do, we've got to share the pound.
in the original film...
Bad Boys.
Okay, so...
Or Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
Not Braveheart. But in the original film, doesn't the White House get destroyed by the aliens?
Yeah.
And Will Smith is fighting the aliens.
Yeah.
So it'd be, unless we're calling Scottish people aliens. I mean, I don't know if that's going a bit far.
Well,
Maybe.
you know, when the first trailer came out for Independence Day,
Yeah.
it was like a dramatic. It was like the biggest CGI leap for
yeah.
years. And you see the White House, then all of a sudden the White House, the shadow comes over and it gets dark, and it like really grips you, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the trailer for the new one, and basically it's that grey and overcast. not one human on the ground notices a thing.
Yeah, but you can see the gnats in really high definition.
That's the next technological leap.
And some of the people, some of the extras, actually, the special effects is so good that they don't even look like heroin addicts. Some of them.
Some of them. Only
Some
a
of them.
couple. Only a couple.
Yeah, but there's some really bad product placement with the tins of tartan.
Cans of Iron Brew.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Westwood, we hope that helps. We really, truly do hope that helps. I'm sure it doesn't, but we hope it does.
My favourite scene is when Will Smith furiously gets through a crowd just to be able to fill in a bureaucratic form. That's my and he's like, oh no, I'm parked on double yellow lines.
Damn that
What's
son of a
the
bitch.
involvement of the British in that film? Don't they just say, oh, those Brits are blah, blah, blah? It's really terrible. It's such an American exercise in flag waving. I had such high hopes for that film when it first came out, I seem to remember.
What, Independence Day?
Mm.
It did what it said on the tin, which was just...
Which was shit.
Well, no.
It had no story.
No,
did
it was
It was
basically...
dreadful.
Listen, it had Jeff Goldblum in it. Stop fucking knocking it, alright?
What, the tall guy?
It had explosions. No, but it was just CGI. It was pure CGI. That was what it was. It was just at the time, and I'll agree with you, Richard. It was quite extraordinary to watch at the cinema. You're probably right. The story wasn't great. The action wasn't brilliant, but the explosions, and the mothership, and the fighting at the end, I thought was brilliant. It was a really good film. I hope that helps the Scottish Independence Day become as
Doesn't
good.
Bill Pullman play the president?
He does. He does an incredibly over-the-top, raising speech near the end as well.
It's the Lost Highway.
You look at his performance in both and think, what the fuck? That's a payout, that is, man, no question.
Would Will Smith be a better actor in it than just having salmon and a kookaburra?
Possibly?
Or salmon and a wild Scottish salmon.
That
Line cut.
that he's his buddy that he carries with him everywhere. That'd be quite good.
What's that, Sammy? What's that, Jock the salmon?
What's that? Yeah.
The aliens are doing what?
If Salmon became an actor, if he was an actor like he's a politician, he'd become Brian Dennehy, wouldn't he? Because he did loads of films, and Salmon's just a career politician, isn't he? He'll just take anything for his own furtherance.
Don't the aliens in War of the Worlds die through the common cold? They'd have no chance in Scotland, would they, with the climate? Either that, or they'd have heroin withdrawal symptoms, which would mask the common cold, be similar to the common cold. Or they'd all be allergic to deep-fried Mars bars.
Any more stereotypical? Oh, joining the Scottish Independence, Murray was asked the question. Andy Murray was asked the question, and
Sorry.
he said, "They said, well, you know, Andy, what do you think? What do you think of Scottish independence?" And he quite cleverly said, "I'm not going to say anything on the matter because I've gotten in trouble for it before," which I thought was kind of good because you know we see him as British when he wins and we see him as Scottish when he loses. So if they get independence and he wants to be Scottish, hopefully he loses everything up until the end. Right then, I believe that's all then, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice show. Good
It's been
show.
a pleasure, as usual.
It certainly has. Mark, anything you want to leave the listeners with before we trot off?
Hairpiece.
And Richard, anything you want to leave the listeners with, preferably not as SDI orientated as Mark?
I'd just like to remind everyone that Abuja is the capital of Nigeria and not Lagos.
Yeah, you fucking idiots. And on that mark of brilliance, we wish you all a very good night, good day and good afternoon. Goodbye all.